What is going on then, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be taking you through my full pull workout. So the way we're going to typically break it down is we're going to start with either a row or a pull down, whichever one you're weakest with, and then we're going to alternate between rows and pull downs for the first 4 exercises. Then we're going to go on to some rear deltoids and then biceps. So if you're a wider guy and you lack thickness, and you lack width, if you're a wider guy and you lack thickness, then you want to start with the rows first. If you're a thicker guy and you lack the width, then you're going to want to start with a pull down first. So me and James are going to start with a pull down today. We're going to go for a single arm just to get to proper isolate each lat, make sure everything's nice and activated, and then go into other exercises. I'm going to be giving you a load of cues and stuff to think of when you go into each exercise as well, which hopefully you can take some away from and learn. But let's get this session underway. So guys, with the pull down variations, what we're trying to target here are our lats. So the way we're going to set this up, you're going to want either a neutral or anywhere between a neutral and a supinated grip, just because if you go for that more pronated grip, that overhand grip, then what tends to happen is when you get in that short position of your lats, your elbows flare out and your upper back tags in a lot. So that neutral grip, or that's anywhere between a neutral and a supinated grip, is going to allow you to get fully short on your lats and get a full contraction on your lats without other muscles stepping in. So we're going to want our end of range of motion to be around here, because if I went up 90 degrees, all this is going to do is take the tension off my lats, and it puts me in a compromised position as well. So for this reason, as the pull down is right above my head, I'm going to have to lean back around 15 to 20 degrees, and I'm going to hold that position. So no swinging, no added momentum, and all we're going to do is drive down in that neutral position with our lats coming down, with our elbows coming down to our hips, and that's going to keep the tension on our lats. Exercise 2, we're going to go onto a chest supported row. Now we're targeting lats with this movement again. So the way we're going to do this movement is going to completely depend on your arm path. It's going to depend on what muscle you're actually trying to target. So if we're going for our lats, we're going to want our arms nice and close to our body, driving the elbows to the hips. Whether if we were trying to target the upper back, the rhomboid, the traps area, we're going to want to be anywhere from this 90 degrees range around to about here. But as we're targeting lats, we're going to want to be nice and close in here. Again, we want to be able to get the lats nice and short, so you're either going to want a neutral or anywhere between a neutral and a supinated grip. So anywhere between a neutral and an underhand grip, because again, if we go for that pronated grip again, so that overhand grip, then what's going to happen is as we get our lats short, we're going to end up flaring our elbows and our upper back is going to come into it. So we're going to want to keep that neutral to semi-supinated, drive the elbow to the hip. guys, we're going on to exercise number 3 now, which is another pull down variation. I thought I'd quickly jump on here and run through how we go about our warm-up set. So the way we train is very progressive based. The workout you're seeing us train today, we will do over and over and over again the same exercises in the same rep ranges in the same order, just so we know exactly what number we need to beat every session to get a PB on that lift, cause a novel stimulus and grow from that set. So you can imagine just going in straight away into PBs every single session is a huge injury risk, which is why we make sure we warm up very well on every single exercise. So we do anywhere between 2 to 5 warm-up sets really on every single exercise. Typically we do more warm-up sets for the first exercise and we reduce that through the rest of the workout because we're obviously a bit more warm, we got a bit more blood in the muscle the further we go down the workout. But the way we typically approach it, say I was going to do 3 20 plates a side on a lat pull down, for example, I'd go in first with maybe a 20 plate per side, a weight where I don't really feel much weight on there at all. Get around 5 to 10 reps. We're not trying to cause any fatigue here. You know, that's a weight you could probably get 20 to 30 reps on if we're going to do 3 plates a side. But this is basically just to warm us up, get used to the movement, get a bit of blood in the muscle and prepare us for the set. I'd then go maybe 2 plates per side and get anywhere between maybe 3 to 5 reps. Again, not trying to look to cause any fatigue. We don't want to be taken away from our working sets. We're just trying to prepare us for that working set. And now I'm going to go on, if I was going to do the 3 plates per side, for example, to 3 plates, and I do my working set. Nice rest in between all of them. You know, we're not trying to rush into any sets. We're not trying to finish a set and jump in between, 30, 40-second breaks. You take as long as you need between those sets. So it can take me anywhere between a minute to 5 minutes between sets, depending on the exercise really. But this is our 3rd exercise. This is another pull down variation, so I'm going to get into that now. So guys, exercise number 4 is going to be another row variation. So we're going to go for another chest supported row. This time single arm, just to isolate each lat individually. And again, like I said, this is going to be a lat focused movement. So we've done a lot of lat work so far. We've done 2 lat pull downs, 1 lat row, and we're doing another lat row here. So again, target on our lats, we're going to want anywhere between that neutral and supinated grip there. So anywhere between the neutral and the underhand grip, because again, we're targeting the lats, and then we're going to go on some upper back work after this, which is where we are going to go more for that flared elbow kind of approach to hit our upper back there. But that's the main thing when you're going for on your back really, guys. It's going to be your arm path and your hand positioning is going to completely depend on what muscle you're targeting. So make sure you are thinking about what you're actually trying to target before you jump on any exercise. Otherwise you're just moving weight without actually thinking about what that weight is even doing. But this is our last lat movement for the day, and it's just a warm-up set here. So again, we'll probably just do about 2 warm-ups on this now, just because we are quite far through the workout. So I'm going to do 3 plates a side on this for my working set in an 8 to 10 rep range. So I'm going to warm up with 1 plate a side first for maybe 5 or 6 reps. Go 2 plates a side for maybe 2 or 3 reps, and then I go into my working set of 3 plates a side where I go for that 8 to 10 rep range. Another thing, guys, as well, when you're doing rows, if you're trying to target your lats, make sure you're focusing on keeping your shoulder pushed down and driving that elbow to the hip. Very easy to be rowing up here and tagging in a lot of that upper back. So you want to be really trying to keep that elbow nice, that elbow path nice and close to your hip there, instead of pulling up and adding a load of trap work in. So guys, on set number 2, we're going to add some intensifiers on the end just to cause some extra muscle damage. So what we're going to do here, we're going to put a weight on where we can get around 15 reps comfortably. You know, we want a couple more in the tank because we're going to be going for a rest pause to 30. So we're going to do our 15 reps, then we're going to do a DC rest pause, so we're going to wait around 10 big breaths, pick up the same weight, get as many reps as we can, put it down, another 10 big breaths, same weight, get as many as we can until we get 30 reps total. So yeah, this is just one way of doing intensifiers. You also have things like drop sets, muscle rounds, but this is called a rest pause, and we're going to do several rest pauses to 30 reps. Don't just go chucking these on the end of every single exercise. A lot of people like to absolutely abuse intensity techniques, but if you do this, you have absolutely no handle over your recovery capabilities. So, you know, when we're training the way we do, where everything is structured, everything's the same every time we train, we're doing the same workouts over and over and over again, everything kind of slots together like a puzzle. It's very easy to keep on top of your recovery, and it's like when you're recovering well, this is where you can look to be like, okay, I'm going to add some intensifiers in to maybe some lagging body parts, and next week you can assess if you're recovering from that. If you are, brilliant, you can keep them in. If you're not recovered by the next time you train that muscle group, you should look to take them intensifiers back out, but just don't abuse intensity techniques, don't put them on the end of every set. You know, anyone can go in the gym and cause a stupid amount of muscle damage on a particular muscle group and then not be able to train it for, you know, 10 days, and that is just stupidly counterproductive. So I'm not going to film this set just because it's going to be stupidly long, but that's just a quick rundown on what we're doing for set number 2. So guys, next we're going to go on to our first upper back, or first and only upper back exercise of the session. So we're going to go on to a chest supported T-bar row. So like I said before, when we're targeting upper back, we're going to want our elbows anywhere between that 90-degree range to around here, wherever's more comfortable for you. We want to make sure we get the muscle nice and short, so we want a good drive back. And then when we extend, we want to make sure we fully rotate our shoulders forward to get that good stretch in our upper back, and then drive again. Concludes all of our back work for the day, and we're going to go on to one rear delt movement now. So we're going to do a rope face pull. I prefer doing it on a seated cable row machine and just putting the rope on there, just so my body's stable. I can have my feet on the pad, make sure we're adding as little momentum to movement as possible. Now, you watch me do this movement, I'm actually just strapping in and not holding on. That's not out of choice. So you guys might have seen the arm wrestler match me and James done against Larry Wheels about 2 weeks ago now, and we've picked up some little injuries in our bicep tendons. So this whole session we haven't really been gripping onto any machines. I don't know if you noticed that, but we're literally just pretty much letting go and letting the figure of eights do all the work there, just because when we do grip we're feeling it in our tendons. You know, everything was safe with the arm wrestle match against Larry. Everything was good. It's just a movement that me and James aren't used to at all, and we've just both picked up these little tendon injuries. So that's the reason I'm not going to be holding onto this rope. But yeah, overhand grip and come back kind of into a crucifix position like this to tag in your rear delts. You want to be driving up into that crucifix position. So guys, that concludes our pull session for the day. So at this point, we would typically go on to 2 bicep exercises with 2 sets on each. Because of our bicep tendons, we are just going to give them a break for today, just to help them heal. Otherwise, it's just going to aggravate it even more and prolong the time before we can actually start hitting our pull sessions properly again. So if you are following along, then just add 2 bicep exercises that you get on well with and just stick with them. But that is going to conclude our pull session for the day. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit that like button there, and we've got plenty more content just like this coming to the YouTube channel, so make sure you hit subscribe so that you don't miss out. Cheers guys, see you in the next video.